Like a lot of kids, I grew up with a loving family, parents who worked very hard, both immigrant background. I really didn't know how to plan to go to college. My dad didn't get past the 6th grade. My parents would always say, get yourself educated. They can take your job, but they can't take your education. And so it was one of those things where so long as I had some goals and a dream, college was part of the path I had to go through to get there.
Well, I first met XAVIER in 1992. We had just gotten elected to Congress. I from South Carolina, he from California.
The first impression I had of Secretary BECERRA was of somebody who is incredibly thoughtful, somebody that listens, that takes in information, synthesizes it very quickly, and begins to understand the heart of something and what's really at stake. I think that's one of his great skills.
The breadth of knowledge that Javier BECERRA brings is astonishing, but I'm equally impressed by his wonderful heart.
The most impressive thing is his stubbornness. There were several times where my impression of him was elevated because I watched how he just refused to be rolled.
He's been involved in expanding access to important services and to breaking down barriers in every single role, whether it was in the House of Representatives or as California Attorney General, or now today as the first Latino to serve as the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
The mission of HHS, to enhance the health and well-being of all Americans, is core to who I am. Over 2 decades in Congress, I helped expand the Children's Health Insurance Program. I helped write and pass the Affordable Care Act. From the Ways and Means Committee, I fought to strengthen and modernize Medicare. As Attorney General, I created a healthcare rights and access unit. I've worked to hold opioid manufacturers accountable. I've taken on hospital and drug makers who unfairly jack up prices on patients. I will always listen. I will keep an open mind. I will look for common cause, and I will work with you to improve the health and dignity of the American people.
He comes to this work with a wholeness and a real sensibility for not only what's possible, but what's practical, and looking at kind of what should be versus what is.
July 16th, we launched 988, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, to help people, similar to what you expect on 911.
Earlier this year, we launched our HHS Reproductive Access Task Force to plan for every action necessary to protect women's access to reproductive health care.
The fact that he was raised by a very strong mother, he married an incredibly strong, smart doctor, and has 3 beautiful, talented, and intelligent daughters. And I think really that's where I believe his support for championing women and championing reproductive rights comes from.
When you got 3 high-achieving daughters, they tend to get you calibrated. But that is to make light of the fact that BECERRA is just a guy who is sensitive to those things in life that makes us whole. He is committed to making sure that everybody gets the same opportunity, same chance to make it as he got.
My mother would always remind me, mejor prevenir que remediar. Better to prevent than to remediate. Frederick Douglass said it just as well. He said, better to build strong children than to repair broken men. We're going to build strong children at HHS. And as I said, we're not going to do it mildly. We're going to go all the way.
It's a commitment to achieving justice and to making a difference in improving the lives of others.
There's something about him that makes me feel that if I'm in a foxhole, I want him in there with me.
It's just impressive to see this commitment that is personal, tireless, and fearless, and bringing the lens of the Latino community to the forefront.